What's going on, Bigger Pockets? It's Matt. So today we're going to talk about how to keep tenants happy. And some of you may say, I don't care if they're happy, I just want them to pay their rent. Well, let me tell you why you want your tenants to be happy, okay? What happy tenants will do, what will a happy tenant do, okay? They will stay in the apartment. They will most likely pay their rent on time. And a happy tenant, because they're happy and because they like where they are, they will pay moderate market rate rent increases, okay? So when you present them with a rent increase, when their lease renews, they will pay it because they were happy and they want to stay. They like where they are, right? When I say happy, by the way, I don't mean like emotionally happy. I mean happy with the place that they live in, okay? Now, the other thing that a happy tenant will do, most happy tenants will do this, is they will treat the place like it is a home. And that might, I had one tenant that planted, it was in an apartment building, and she loved where she lived so much, she planted a small garden behind the apartment building, and she grew food for her to eat behind the apartment building. And of course, that was great because it made her feel like home. And she's more likely to stay there, more likely to pay rent on time and pay rent increases because she treats it like a home. And so I've seen tenants that when you walk through a unit, you can tell a tenant that's planning on staying for a while versus a tenant that's there short term. Okay, if they're sleeping on air mattresses, they're probably not going to drop anchor and stay there long term. But if they've bought furniture, whether it's nice furniture or not, it doesn't matter. They're looking to treat it like a home and stay there in the property long term, right? So that's the question: how do you make tenants happy? Okay, so I'm going to give you a few tips that we've come up with over the years on how to make tenants happy. And the first one, this sounds silly, but you treat them like, that doesn't sound silly, it's really true, but some people take it as a given. You treat them like people. You do unto others. You treat them as if you would want to be treated as if you were a tenant. And that means treating them with respect. And that means being cordial. You don't have to be nice to them, but being cordial and respectful to your tenants when you speak to them, when your property manager speaks to them, or when you consider their needs. Tenant's got a roof leak. Well, I'd rather not spend the money to deal with the roof leak this month. I'll wait till 2 months from now when I've got more money and I want to deal with it then. That is not treating them like people. That will not create a happy tenant, I promise you. So if you make all your decisions based on money and finances versus what can I do to treat my tenant like a human being, you will probably lose a tenant eventually if you make all your decisions based on finances. Now, other ways that you can do it. You take care of maintenance, both preventative and reactive maintenance. You take care of maintenance issues in a timely manner. So there are, nuisance maintenance items that the tenant made, like we had a tenant that didn't like the way that his ceiling fan buzzed when it ran or something like that. We took care of it eventually, but I didn't run out there the next day. But if there was a roof leak or if there is a potential life safety issue or if the heater's not working properly, take care of that immediately. I've heard of one landlord that had the tenant was running space heaters for like a week because the landlord was taking their time to get out there to take care of a no heat issue. Right? That's crazy. You will lose that tenant eventually. Once they get up the money to move, they will. And so you take care of maintenance stuff. Now, I say preventative maintenance as well. You show the tenant that you care about the property. This goes back to treating them like people. You ask your property manager or you personally, if you manage your own stuff, to do regular walkthroughs of the unit to make sure that there's not things that are going to be maintenance issues in the future. Maybe aren't issues now, but just ways to stay ahead of the curve and ways you can take care of the property, maybe pop new batteries in the smoke detector if you're going to do it for them. Just check everything to make sure everything's nice and healthy and make sure the tenant's aware you're doing it because that will keep them happy knowing that you're going out of your way to take care of them. That's on preventative maintenance, okay? Now, not every unit is okay to take pets, but people that like pets become happy when they get to have their pets. So that means dog people are allowed to have dogs. Cat people are allowed to have cats. If they like guinea pigs, they can have a guinea pig, whatever it is. And if you charge fees for those things, it's okay because most pet people that I know do not get unhappy for having to pay you a moderate fee, whatever your market is, a moderate fee for having a pet. But what makes them unhappy and maybe not even willing to move into your unit at all is if you won't let them have pets. So people that like dogs or whatnot, let them have it. If they call you and say, hey, listen, I was thinking about getting a puppy dog, you know what? If you let them have it, not every landlords will let tenants have pets. So if you do, let them have it and charge a fee if you want to. But pets and animals, for people that like them, make them happy. Now, you also got to watch, because people that are pets sometimes make people that are allergic unhappy. So be careful which buildings you put them in. We have some buildings that we make pet-friendly buildings and other buildings that are not pet-friendly. And we let people know this is a no-pet property. And sometimes that people that are allergic or don't want to be around pets gravitate there. And people that want to be, that want to have pets, we got one building that has more pets than people in it. So they can gravitate over there for that, okay? Now, this thank yous and give backs. Now this is a little fuzzy, but I'll explain to you what I mean by that, okay? Thank yous and give backs. Now, what a thank you is a way to show your tenants that you care and that you appreciate them. I'll give you an example. I've talked about this before on Bigger Pockets, but we give away a flat screen TV one time a year to our tenants. And the only way that they can get entered into that drawing for the flat screen TV is they got to pay their rent on time. So if they pay their rent on time, their name gets entered into a drawing. We draw a name out, and then we say, okay, of the tenants that were in the drawing, we draw the name. It's okay, this is Joe Smith, and Joe Smith wins a flat screen TV. You better believe I make every tenant aware that we're giving away the flat screen TV, and we send them reminders and stuff like that. We don't tell them that Joe Smith won because, I don't want people getting into Joe Smith's business or whatnot, but we do, the other tenants, but we do let tenants know that we're doing a drawing. And that, they should make sure that they enter their rent on time. But we don't go broadcast who did win because I don't want people getting jealous or anything like that. But that is a nice thank you to do. I've heard of other landlords that will go and buy their tenants a Thanksgiving turkey. I mean, what's that cost? $15, $20? Depending on how many units you have, that could end up being a lot of money. But that's a nice thank you to do. One time a year, $20 per tenant that you have to give them a nice little thank you. So they buy them their Thanksgiving turkey right before Thanksgiving Day, right? That's a thank you can do. Now, give backs are, if you've got like a reasonable sized multifamily, you can do things like decorate the place for the holidays. We're just getting into this, but there's other landlords that every holiday that comes around, they'll go and put American flags on the place for 4th of July, or they'll go and put a big inflatable snowman out there for the Christmas or the holiday season, whatever you want to call it. And they'll do things that are seasonal, and because you know why that helps people as a nice little give back. It's again what somebody would do as a part of their home. It's what homeowners do sometimes to decorate their property. So if you're an apartment building or a small apartment building, you can decorate it for your tenants. Within a total budget, and then you bring the snowman out every year. Buy that big snowman one time and bring it out every year. So you buy it once, use it every year on from there. And tenants will again treat a place like it's their home if you treat it like it's a home for them too. Okay. Anyway, that's the bottom line. Oh, one thing I forgot. Under the maintenance side, make sure you do your groundskeeping properly, and make sure you do it regularly. So if you've got a multifamily and you have to pay for the lawn mowing and all that, and the snow shoveling if you live in an area that it snows, don't cut corners. Don't cut the grass once a month. Cut the grass every 2 weeks in the summertime, or even once a week if you really want it to be nice and tight, because tenants will feel like it's a nice home, something they're proud of. And if they're proud of something, they'll be happy, and they'll gladly do these things for you too. So again, this is how you keep tenants happy. You treat them like people, you do nice things for them, and you take care of them, and you make sure that you treat it like a home for them, and they'll do the same for you. So again, I'd love to hear other comments or other ideas that you guys do to keep your multifamilies nice. Other feedback you have on this too. Look forward to hearing from you guys. So thank you for watching. Have a great and profitable week.